Let me read the question. Expanding your network. The question that came in says, I'm interested in your thoughts and or experiences in networking using example like LinkedIn, especially when it comes to approaching coders and other EHR professionals you have no connections with. I find it daunting, intimidating even, so I wonder if you can share insights and ways to expand your network. Thanks, you guys are great as usual. Yeah, we are pretty great. We like what we do. Okay, so I am going to click on that and let's see if the answer sheet comes up. Okay, so here's the question reiterated and it's loading. It'll come up in just a second. The things that I came up with about networking, I love to network, probably because I'm an extrovert. I'm sure you guys didn't quite catch that, but it is much easier when you're passionate and you enjoy what you're doing, and that's why you're networking. If you're trying to sell something that you don't like, you know, if I was a vacuum salesman, I probably wouldn't be as excited and into networking as I am with what I do. So one of the things that you have to understand about networking is you're trying to sell yourself, right? So be proud, be excited about what you do. Now, let me just scroll down here. 4 things. I came up with 4 things. You need to set a goal. You need to establish a footprint, and you need to research, and then you need to commit it to action. So that is the 4 little bullet points that I came up with when it comes to networking. The goal, the first thing. What's the purpose of your networking? Is it to get a job? Is it to find out who else in the field so that you can get better education, somebody that you can ask questions with? Like, you know, I network with Joanne, even though we work with the same company now. She has got a wealth of information in her head that I can tap into because of networking. And then if she has questions, she taps into other people. So I know what her strengths are, and if I have a question about it, all I have to do is send her a message and get some feedback. And so the other thing that you would be networking for is business, promoting yourself as a business. Maybe you're wanting to open a coding and billing company, or maybe you're a contract coder and technically you're self-employed. So the first thing is, before you can start networking, you need to find out what is your goal in networking. Once you've established that, and probably I'm going, you know, take a little step out here and say the person that asked this question is probably a new coder and wanting to establish networking to find another job. So with that being the purpose, then you can jump into the next step. You have to establish a footprint. Now, I thought that was kind of like this new modern way to say you need to get yourself out there, but to do that, it's like setting up your business card for everybody else to see, right? It is your virtual footprint. Well, you need to know who will be looking at it. First of all, if you put anything on Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, all of those, that means everybody in the world ultimately will have access to see your footprint, everything about you. So it goes without saying you need to always have a professional footprint if you're looking for a job or you're putting yourself out there as a professional, as a credentialed person. So again, keep it professional at all times. If you need to set up 2 Facebook accounts, I don't know how that works, but you can have a professional Facebook account and then you can have one that's private where your crazy cousin will be posting pictures from the family reunion or something, you know. Again, it's very important. That is probably the first thing now when somebody's interested in hiring an individual. They go out and they look to see what their Facebook page is, and they will go look and see to find them on LinkedIn. And the purpose for all of that is, in fact, to see more up into their life with out having to ask questions that you're not technically allowed to ask, right? Okay, the other thing about your footprint is you need to know your market. Who are you marketing yourself to? It doesn't matter if it's to get a job or it's business or looking for education in a particular area. You need to establish your footprint for that market. And that means if you're going to go out on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is free, don't pay for anything on LinkedIn. There's no reason to ever do that. Then you need to figure out who you're marketing yourselves to. And that means that when you go in and you start adding people to your LinkedIn, you're looking for a specific group of people. If people are credentialed, then man, they want to join my LinkedIn, then I'm going to add them because I know that in the future we could network. We have something in common. If it's somebody that is, you know, a bodybuilder that comes up on LinkedIn, we don't have anything in common. This is it's my professional footprint, so I'm not going to add them. And again, so know your market. You're going to be looking for recruiters. That's the technical name. I always call them headhunters. And you're going to be looking for some flag companies, maybe AHIMA, the AAPC, PAYCOM, AMBA. These are organizations that have credentials that you may be interested in, or you want to network with these people. So if you don't know the network that you need to tap into, then you need to start asking people. And that means you need to research, identify the companies like the ones that I just mentioned. They're credentialing companies. If you need to, you go out and you Google medical coding credentialing companies or organizations, and then they'll give you a list. The two main ones are HEMA and the AAPC. And then there's specialty credentials like AMBA, which is strictly billing, and then PAYCOM, who is strictly practice management. So again, and I could go on and on. There are others out there, but those are the ones that we deal a lot with. So I drop their names all the time. So again, identify the related companies that you want to network with. Face-to-face opportunities and online. You need to distinguish. Face-to-face would mean if you are credentialed with the AAPC, then you need to go to their monthly chapter meetings. That's extremely important. And AHIMA has chapter meetings as well. PAYCOM and AMBA don't have as many they don't have like chapter meetings per se, but they network online. And after going to the last PAYCOM conference, man, those practice managers are hot when it comes to the great networking that they do. They're not as big as the AHIMA and the AAPC, but they are a powerful force to be reckoned with. And so if practice management is something that you're interested in, definitely associate yourself with them and find opportunities to when they'll be having conferences or breakout sessions, things like that you could possibly attend. And then the last thing you need to know is to think outside the box. How are you able to get connected with these people outside the box? And sometimes you have to give to receive. All right, so maybe that means if you have business cards, you need to be passing them out to everybody. It's amazing how many people that are connected that don't realize that they have something in common, that through credentials and stuff, or that you met somebody when you went to a conference and they know somebody that lives in the same town and works at one of the hospitals by you. You know, it just blossoms. So again, it's not necessarily me giving you a list of who to become associated with. Of course, LinkedIn is going to be a big one, but there's a line and some other new ones that are popping up since LinkedIn is so big. I don't know, but I think I have 9,000 people on my LinkedIn page. So feel free to jump over to my LinkedIn page and then scour all those people and see if they have things in common with you that you can start that process. Okay, that's it.
Do you need more medical certification training? Go to www.cco.us